Just another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Let's get into some praise right here this morning. Here's Jason Nelson, shifting the atmosphere. Right here, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Pastor Frederick Haynes up next. Oh, man, shifting the atmosphere. Pastor Haynes, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rickey Smiley. Thank you for starting us off this week.
Yes, sir, man. I know you got a good word. That's Jason Nelson, shifting the atmosphere. That's a good song.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it, especially since we live in an atmosphere that has now been poisoned with so much that is negative and nightmarish. The atmosphere is depressing and draining. The atmosphere has some of us just sick and tired of being sick and tired because wave after wave of negative news that leaves us heartbroken and wondering if we will ever break this yoke of white supremacy. The atmosphere is negative. The atmosphere is nasty. But this song lets us know that when we worship the God above us, God begins to shift things. I love what the song is saying because the message is that God will shift things within us. First of all, the shift is in my mind, in my spirit, where God gives me peace in the midst of all that is making me panic. God gives me strength in the midst of these insufferable storms of racism, discrimination, and this ugly pandemic. God begins to shift my inner atmosphere, and after shifting my inner atmosphere, then God blesses me to get up off of my knees in worship and go to work to change the world around me. And so the shift that takes place within me then gives me power to shift the atmosphere around me, because that's what worship does. Worship connects you with the God of heaven, who gives you the strength, who gives you the courage, who gives you the love to make a change right here on earth. So go ahead, worship God, because God is worthy of worship. And after you worship God, then watch God give you just what you need to make a difference in the atmosphere in this world around you. That's what I need. I need to shift my inner atmosphere, and I do that when I worship God. And once God shifts my inner atmosphere, then God empowers me to shift and change the external atmosphere in the world around me. So go ahead, worship God, and after you worship God, watch God go to work through you to make a difference in the atmosphere that's around you. Let's shift the atmosphere.
There it is. Hey, Pastor Haynes, appreciate that, man. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rickey Smiley. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at FH Unscripted. I'm on Facebook. It's Frederick D. Haynes. I'm on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Frederick Haynes.
Yes, sir. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Rickey. Thank you.
Pastor Haynes, a lot going on. We're going to have to try to get you in this week other than the praise break, because, man, it's absolutely, it's crazy. Yeah. It's great. I just imagine you sitting watching CNN all night with everything that's going on.
You better know it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of conversations this week. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
I love you. Let's do it, Rickey. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, the same as being brought to you by My Computer Career. That's right, y'all. If you don't absolutely love what you do, make sure you go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 7 minutes after the hour. We got your front page coming up next. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, it's 12 minutes after the hour, y'all. The same as being brought to you by AARP. That's right, y'all. It's Black Music Month. So listen. So let's get up and get down Monday morning with the Black Music Month Song of the Week, sponsored by AARP. Don't miss it. All right. Brad, good morning. I'm sorry. Eva, good morning. Good morning,
Eva, Brad, Gary, Rock T, Ricky, Special K, and Black Tony, even if he decides to come to work. Good morning to everybody. I am Eva Marcel here with what happens over the weekend in the news, just in case you missed it. So I am absolutely disgusted to report this. A Wendy's in Atlanta was set on fire after a 27-year-old man by the name of Rashad Brooks was shot in the back by the police. The medical examiner ruled the shooting a homicide, which was completely obvious. It was recorded. The police officer has been fired, and Atlanta's police chief has now resigned. Protests are expected to continue today and ongoing. And a $10,000 reward has been offered in any information about those responsible for setting the fire, which personally is the least of any of our true concerns, is the fire of the Wendy's. Also, at least 7 Minneapolis police officers have resigned, and another 7 are in the process of doing so over what they say has been a lack of support from leaders of the police department following the George Floyd death. And last, coronavirus cases and hospitalizations are up in 20 states, including Florida, Texas, Alabama, and Arizona. But the nation's top infectious disease experts said a second wave of the virus is inevitable later on this year. So please continue to listen to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show and Dr. Collier's advice. Stay clean, wash your hands, and continue to social distance. This thing is not over, you guys. All right, that was a quick look at your headline news. For more on what's trending, log on to the RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what's going on in sports?
Let's start off with the NFL. They will be donating $250 million to help fight social injustice. Many of the African-American football players in the NFL are speaking up, saying that they should have a say in where the money actually ends up.
Right.
Cleveland Browns superstar Myles Garrett, Rick, is helping raise money for the recovery of a 24-year-old man. His name is John Sanders, who lost his eye during a Black Lives Matter protest in downtown Cleveland. He was shot in the eye with a lead pellet-filled beanbag.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's so unfortunate, man. They tried to recover the eye and surgery 2 or 3 different times. It didn't work, so they had to go ahead and just take the eye right there. So, last but not least, man, San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich is criticizing NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for caving in to Donald Trump in a past on the issues of players' protests during the national anthem. He's pretty much saying, listen, man, they've been trying to speak out since 2016 on this situation. Thank God that you finally came around to help out what's going on right now, but a lot of this could have been nipped in the bud a long time ago if you would have listened to the players back in 2016 when Colin Kaepernick started kneeling in the first place and bringing awareness to all of this. So Greg Popovich is always speaking up and speaking out and keeping it real. There you have it. Gary, T, what you got there, big dog?
All right, y'all. It's a very sad day for a friend of the morning show, y'all, honey. Tamar Braxton. Tamar was attacked this past weekend, y'all, recently, because she said to the world that, quote, she said, honey, I'm at Harvard Online now. I'm taking courses at Harvard Online. Well, the reason why she was attacked because Houston native, y'all, Meg Thee Stallion, she announced to her fans that pursuing higher education, y'all, matters. And she said, we need good people, y'all, as lawyers and doctors in this country today. Now, she said, although school is not for everybody, she said, but do not let people discourage you from pursuing a higher education. She said that, well, Tamar Braxton decided to go online and let her fans know, let the world know. She said, well, honey, I've decided that I'm going to take classes at Harvard. Hashtag level up. Hashtag, honey, come with me. Well, it just didn't go well, honey. It derailed, y'all, when she did this on social media. That's Ricky. Social media took a swipe at her. They say, first of all, Miss Braxton, girl, honey, everybody go to Harvard now. She said, it's turning into a community college for celebrities. And then they're saying, y'all, that you're not, honey, the upcoming generation either, Tamar. They say everybody, honey, every celebrity can get into Harvard just because of their status. They're saying that that's the fake Harvard. Anybody can get it. Now they say, now you can pay.
That's so mean.
That's mean. They say, but you can pay to get into Harvard nowadays. But congrats. And they say, anyway, just say you in school, Tamar. You ain't got to say Harvard, unquote.
Okay, Gary. Do you remember when they were reporting how Black China was going to Harvard too?
Exactly.
So there is an extension program for a lot of universities, not just Harvard, where you can take courses online, and essentially that's what they're doing. And yes, the courses are offered by the Harvard University, and so that's where they're getting it from. But they're online courses. It's not the same thing as getting admitted into the undergraduate degree program or the graduate program.
But John Doe and Keisha don't know that. They just hear Harvard, and that's all they hear. So all you Africans in America doing now. What happened to Howard, Paul Quinn, and all these other HBCUs that y'all could go to and could pump up? We're not doing it.
Because you can't take online classes at HBCUs. You got to go to class.
All right, the Kahlua today, honey, is one of my favorite Kahluas. My Kahlua today is sangria. On the high end, you say sangria, and on the low end, you say purplish red. That's your Kahlua for today. Now, Brad, what's going on with Killer Mike and T.I.? They joining forces?
Yeah, they joining forces to tell us all about the murder of Rashard Brooks and how they feel. I'm going to tell you all about it in the hot spot coming up next. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, girl. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley. He be singing that, boy. All right, y'all, bottom of the hour, y'all. This segment is being brought to you by Urban One. Remember, you cannot vote unless you are registered. So if you need to find more information about how, when, and where to vote, please visit newsone.com/vote. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat, and this is the Hot Spot, where we bring you music, movies, and more. Well, y'all, Killer Mike and T.I. spoke out about the murder of Rashard Brooks. Killer Mike said, #Rashard Brooks should be alive this morning. He should be waking up hungover or drunk in the tank or whatever, depending on if he was apprehended and not dead. He said, if I'm a Wendy's worker who called the police, I feel like crap this morning because a man was sleeping in a car, and it should not have ended with a killing like this. And if it was a child in one of the cars, oh my goodness, he said, I'm scared of anyone in uniform or with a gun. He said, I'm mad as hell and I'm saddened beyond consolation. At a minimum, we need a law that prevents shooting a person while they're fleeing. If there is no weapon, fleeing from an officer should be a foot chase and a radio race. And then T.I. joined the protest in Atlanta this weekend, and he said, I don't give a damn what your opinion is of the person. I don't give a damn what he did. The man did not deserve to die like that. And any policeman out there who stands behind this, you are in trouble too. He said, we're going to organize, and we got to demonstrate that we have to do it with a purpose. And they are absolutely right. All right, y'all, moving on. SNL alum Jay Farrell releases a shocking video of police kneeling on his neck. He's speaking out about police brutality, and in a 4-minute video he posted on Instagram, the 32-year-old says he was out exercising in L.A. recently when a police officer approached him, and he appeared on ABC's Good Morning America to discuss his experience. He said, as I'm walking across the street, I see an officer to the left of me. He said, I ain't thinking nothing of it because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Here's what else he had to say.
As I'm walking across the street, 4 officers got their guns blazing. They tell me to get on the ground, spread my arms out. They put me in cuffs. The officer took his knee, put it on my neck. It wasn't as long as George Floyd, but I know how that feels.
That's crazy.
Yes, the surveillance footage shows him lying on the sidewalk surrounded by 4 officers with guns drawn. He said the police told him that he fit the description of a black man in the area with gray sweatpants on and a gray shirt. He said, I told them if you look right now to go to Jay Farrell, you'll see that you have made a big mistake. He said he encountered viewers to take it in, and he said, learn more because black lives always matter. My life matter. I'm here to tell my story, but I could have easily been a Ahmaud Arbery or George Floyd. My goodness, it's crazy out here. All right, y'all, our girl Beyonce, she's penned an open letter to the Attorney General of Kentucky demanding that he take action and arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor back in March. She wrote to Daniel Cameron, 3 months have passed and 0 arrests have been made and no officers have been fired. She said, with every death of a black person at the hands of a police officer, there are 2 real tragedies, the death itself and the inaction and delays that follow it. This is your chance to end that pattern. Take swift and decisive action in charging these officers. The next months cannot look like the last 3. I totally agree with her. I'm so proud of everybody for stepping up and speaking out and saying how they feel, because I definitely feel like it makes a difference and it has an influence on our youth. All right, y'all, to get caught up on those stories and more, you can go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. I'm your girl, Brett Tat Tat. Coming up next, we got Rock T's Joke of the Day, and we got your wake-up call, so hit us up for that, 1-866-9-RICKY. That's 1-866-9-RICKEY. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, it's about that time. Here we go. Rock T's Joke of the Day. Joke of the Day.
Yes.
Joke of the Day. Oh, yes. All right, Rock, it's got to be funny.
What do you get when you cross an elephant and a kangaroo?
What do you get when you cross an elephant and a kangaroo?
Some big ass holes across Australia.
Go to that, Eva. And she laughed. Eva.
Yeah.
Rickey, that's a stupid.
Yeah. So you said
You don't think that was funny?
the elephant got the kangaroo pregnant, and then they had a baby, and instead of the elephant walking, they got a baby kangaroo elephant that hops.
Rock T, that was so good. High five, bro.
Man, please, you got to be high as hell.
That's what I was just going to say.
We both thinking that.
Even whatever you hitting over there.
Give me some of that.
You're gonna say like an Ella Roo.
Let me get a pull off of that blunt.
Me too.
Dr. MJ Collier up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. You could have kept that. You wasted precious airtime. We could be helping somebody. Oh, man. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, time right now is 14 before the top of the hour, y'all. We got the one and only Dr. MJ Collier on the phone. Dr. Collier, you know, I'm going to ask you something right quick. I saw on the news, good morning, I saw on the news this morning where they said that the coronavirus numbers were up, but the deaths were down. Can you explain that?
Well, people are having milder cases, I guess, and that's good because last week we had like 2,000 deaths per day, and in the last 24 hours it was only 345. So the numbers have decreased. The numbers of cases have gone up by 21,000 in the last 24 hours, with an estimate of about 700,000 people that have recovered. And those people that have recovered, again, would be eligible for plasma donations to use therapeutic plasma for treating people that were in the disease state, hospitalized, and on ventilators. So that is good that has happened in the last 24 hours, because last week the death rate was almost 2,000 a day, and that's just in the last 24 hours. So let's hope that trend continues, and it's not just a blip in the statistics because it was the weekend, but the numbers, the death rate have decreased. But Ricky, we look at two of our most popular states, Texas and Florida. They had their highest total number of coronaviruses since all 50 states have released social distancing restrictions. And in California, they hit a new high with 3,600 new cases in one day. So the rise in cases helps explain, why the nation continues to record more than 20,000 new cases a day, even though some of the hot spots like New York are seeing a decline. But I think because New York has maintained social distancing and restrictions, and they're opening up in phased restrictions, and that is what was recommended by the CDC. But people are, once they've opened up a little bit, people are just, they are not following any of the guidelines. They're not wearing their masks. They're not wearing goggles. They're not social distancing. You're seeing crowds and groups where, if it's not a controlled environment, people are just, taking the risk, and they say that, everybody should be responsible for their own health. That is true. I saw a picture this weekend of some of the entertainment venues like SeaWorld, where that's a controlled environment, and they had a picture of people riding the roller coaster, and those individuals were separated every other row and every one or two seats between individuals, unless they were a family pod, and then they would have, say, a group of four together. But other than that, so, and everybody on the roller coaster was wearing a mask. So that is, some of the things, that's a controlled environment where people are saying, okay, if you're going to do it, this is how we're going to do it. And if we maintain those sort of restrictions and guidelines, the numbers would come down. But since we are not doing that on the situation where people have personal control of their social gatherings, then it's going to be a problem. So they are saying you should still boost your immunity. Things that they're recommending, again, omega-3 fish oil, a big study that just came out with omega-3 and L-arginine. L-arginine is a known antiviral. People with herpes infections have been using L-arginine as a natural treatment for 50 years. So it's very, very good. But nitric oxide is the key. The nitric oxide reaction is the key ingredient in why drugs like Viagra work. So you see they work, and they work almost instantly. So they have a hospital in Boston now that gives nitric oxide therapy to their physicians and their providers before their shift and after their shift, because it gives you almost instant immune boosting. So you don't have to wait for the medication to get in your system. If you take the nitric oxide, you're going to get immediate boost in your immune function. So a lot of the doctors there are really having decreased transfer from patients, and they're working through their shifts without catching the coronavirus because of this new treatment protocol with nitric oxide. There are some natural products that you can get nitric oxide. I'm going to talk about those and the next time we come on, because people are interested in asking about that. So we want to make sure that you're doing that. But for men that are out there using products like Viagra, Levitra, Cialis, and other drugs like that, then they are getting nitric oxide, and amazingly enough, they are boosting their immune system at the same time that they are, stimulating their sexual function. So that's a good key and a good connection between those. So, gentlemen, that's another reason to use those medications if you need to. So that's where we are on this Monday, Ricky.
I apologize.
I know.
It's just, man, Dr. Carl, you need to stop, man. You need to stop. Because you be presenting stuff, but you be kind of funny. Then you going to bring in herpes, and then you going to start talking about Viagra.
Oh, my God.
Now we better go out and get all them pills. Them pills going to help out with coronavirus, herpes. when you said did y'all hear me laugh?
Yes. But where did we get nitric oxide from? It's like is that something we could just buy?
Let me tell you something, boy. That stuff that puts some lead in your pencil. You heard me?
There's some liquid products that you can get. Several.
Under the tongue for 30 minutes, boy. You put your foot on somebody's neck.
Shut up, Rick.
You know what, Dr. Carl? You just come back. Dr. Carl, just come back tomorrow, because this ain't working out today, because Brad and he were just being real belligerent and crazy this morning.
And is probiotics still good?
Probiotics, of course, and vitamin D. Of course, vitamin D is good. So, we've always recommended the big three: omega-3 fish oil, vitamin D, and probiotics. Those things.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, the time right now is 5 after the hour. Y'all, the segment's being brought to you by My Computer Career. That's right. If you don't absolutely love what you do, make sure you go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news. Ricky, we're going to have to put a call in to Lisa Ray McCoy, y'all. It's being reported that Lisa Ray was trending, y'all, on Twitter recently. They're saying, y'all, that Lisa lost her curves due to age. Now, it's being reported, y'all, that Lisa Ray McCoy, 52, is seen as one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood over the age of 50. But they're saying yesterday, honey, some of her fans called her jaw-dropping beauty into question. They said after she attended, y'all, the Black Lives Matter protest in Los Angeles. Now, they're saying, y'all, that folks on Twitter said that Lisa Ray appears, y'all, to have lost her signature curves and believe, y'all, that age has finally caught up with her, taking away her amazing shape.
Let me tell you something. I begged the dipper. She was on the cooking show. She was on the cooking show a couple of weeks ago, and she walked over there to that stove to put them damn oxtails, whatever it was, them hamburgers in that little skillet, and she was looking mighty thick.
Are you sure, Ricky? Did you look
positive? Because I
was it a glance?
I said it on screen. I stopped cooking. She was looking so fine. I said, look at you.
Yeah, well, that might be the new Lisa Ray, because they're saying her shape, she have lost it due to age and stuff.
You tripping, Gary. She ain't lost nothing, okay? Don't do that. We're not going to do that, Gary. Let's just go on to the next story, Gary.
We're going to pray, y'all, because we think every woman should have
we all need prayer.
And you know that's Brad's sister. Why you sit up here being messy?
That's what he do. Every time it come to her, Bow Wow or Mariah, he got to really put the extra sauce on it.
You think he doing that to get at you, Brad? He be trying to starve at you, Brad.
Yes, he is. Leave my people alone. Ain't nothing wrong with my sister's body. You tripping.
He do the same thing.
Have you looked in the mirror? Don't do that, Gary. Don't talk about my sister. Don't do that.
Well, I'm just saying what people saying.
Don't tell us what the people saying. We don't care what the people saying, because you love her. You love her too. When she comes in,
of course I do.
So don't be saying nothing bad about her.
I haven't seen her in a while. I know Ricky saw, but sometimes Ricky see what he don't see. And
Gary, how come you don't look out for the people that you're supposed to care about?
I care about it, but I'm just concerned.
Don't say no bad stories.
Well, speaking of that, then this story going. It's saying we need to reach out and call this man Kevin Hart. Y'all, now they're saying that Kevin Hart was blasted the other day because his beautiful wife Nico, and he had gone out to dinner in Malibu, and they're saying that Kevin Hart, his wife, was struggling to get in the Mercedes coupe. They say he didn't even open the door for her, and this woman is pregnant. And they got pictures of her showing he got one of those Mercedes with the wings, and poor Nico tried to get in, and Kevin didn't even help the woman in. And that woman
pregnant. The wings, the doors let up by itself.
Exactly, it was by itself, but she got to sit down. She's pregnant. He didn't even help her sit down in the car, and this woman is pregnant. I'm saying, people saying that the divorce may be on the rise.
Yes. This is an emergency. This needs to be reported and documented.
Yes, because that man, honey, when a man loves a woman, but you're supposed to help your pregnant wife when she's trying to get in the doggone car, honey, and sit down in it and what have you. So it's sad.
You better let the children know, Gary.
Yes, honey. I would not want to be a pregnant woman for a rich man if he ain't gonna sit there and do nothing for you, but just let you stand up and fight.
She's not pregnant for
This
him.
is one
Please
time
stop
you've
saying
seen
for
this.
him.
You don't
Stop
know what he
saying
do.
that.
She is pregnant for him. That's his damn baby.
That's pulled
She's
off.
pregnant for
That's
herself. Stop.
what.
She's not pregnant for
That's
him.
what old people. That's what old people say in the South. They say, "Yeah, you know, she pregnant for him."
So what do you say? You don't say pregnant for him. Pregnant.
They're having
She's
a
just
child
pregnant,
together.
but you make it seem like he's doing her. That she's doing him a favor or.
Oh, that's why the devil cut
Gary,
you
you gotta
off.
stop using slavery. It's 2020.
Say what, Kay?
Gary, you gotta stop using slavery terms. It's 2020, bro.
Yeah, well, if they need to stop treating us like slaves, then maybe I'll stop using the term. And how about that? But anyway, she's pregnant. And that's the bottom line. Yeah. So, and speaking of pregnant, y'all, Tiana Taylor has announced she is pregnant, y'all.
Who?
Tiana Taylor.
Oh, by the she dated the guy from the.
She's married. Ahmad Shumpert, her husband.
Iman.
Well, what I said.
Okay.
Iman Shumpert.
Yeah,
Ahmad Shumpert. That's what I
He played
said.
with
You said
the
Emmy
Cavaliers,
Schumer.
don't he? Am I missing something?
I don't know who he played for. He used to play. I thought he said.
He used to play for
the
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, the
remember?
sports genius should know who he played for, Rock T.
He don't play right now. His last team was the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, really?
He went to the Kings
Yeah.
from the Cavaliers.
He went to the Kings. Matter of fact, I think he went to the Kings, then the Rockets, then the Nets, like in one season.
Well, where the Cavaliers come in
2019.
at? We need to hear about the Cavaliers. Even said where they at?
They were in
That was back in
Cleveland.
2016.
Oh,
Yeah, nice little stint in Cavaliers. That's when they ended up having their first child, Junie.
okay. Well, let's just pray for all parties concerned, honey. All right, the Kahlua today, honey, is one of my favorites. My Kahlua today is sangria. On the high end, you say sangria, and on the low end, you say purplish red. That's your Kahlua for today.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the T. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up, man. Whole lot funny, crazy. And we got some news coming up, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Time right now is 21 after the hour, y'all. The segment's being brought to you by AARP Black Music Month. It's Black Music Month, so make sure you get up and get down Monday morning with the Black Music Month Song of the Week, sponsored by AARP. Don't miss it. We got the one and only Reverend Al Sharpton on this morning. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much. I know you've been busy. You've been flying all over the country because every station I turn to, you own it. Reverend Al, good morning.
Good morning, and no, we are busy because things are happening everywhere.
Yes, sir.
You know, in the last 40 days, we've gone from Ahmaud Arbery being killed in Brunswick, Georgia, to Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, killed by police in our own home. Then George Floyd in Minneapolis. Now we're seeing the killing by police of Rayshard Brooks. And it's really time this nation come to terms with law enforcement and how they deal with black people. We're not having a mass hallucination. They have a systematic racist problem, and we've got to deal with it and change the laws and enforce the laws.
Right. Now, Friday, we got some good news out of New York with with Governor Cuomo signing the police reform bill into law at a press conference attended by the mothers of Eric Garner and Sean Bell. But elsewhere around the country, things kind of got worse, and more black people are becoming hashtags. Now, Friday night in Atlanta, the police officer shot and killed a father of three, Rayshard Brooks, at a fast food restaurant. Now, what do you think when you first heard about the incident and you saw the body cam footage?
I had been at the signing of the New York State Police Reform Bill you referred to by Governor Cuomo and spoke at it. So I was like, finally in New York, we got something done. As he said, for decades, I've been helping lead those fights. And then hours later, Ricky, I see this footage out of Atlanta, the birth home of Dr. King, where this man, inebriated, he admitted he had been drinking. Rather than say, can we call a relative or can we walk you home, he said his sister lived there. They get into a back and forward with him. In the scuffle, he takes one of their taser guns and runs, and they shoot him in the back. You don't shoot a man in the back. First of all, it is illegal to shoot a fleeing felon. You don't shoot a man in the back in the Wild Wild West in the movies. And justify trying to shoot a man in the back 3 times shows again the recklessness and disregard for the sanctity of black lives. I think the mayor there, Keisha Lance Bottoms, did the right thing in firing that policeman right away and accepting the resignation of the police chief. And I think he should be charged. I've talked to his attorney, the attorney for the family of Brother Brooks, and they are moving for charges for him. I think he must be charged. If you are a policeman that can't handle an inebriated motorist, I don't know what it is that you are qualifying yourself to be a policeman.
And Reverend Al, this is Special K. Can I also, in regards to that Rashard Brooks case, don't you think we also need to start the conversation about unnecessary policing? Like, we don't need police called in every situation. Police need to be called only as a absolute last resort, because that man wasn't really creating any kind of an issue other than just being there. But he wasn't violent. He wasn't causing a commotion of any kind. I just think it's a situation where a lot of times police don't need to be involved, period.
No, he was asleep. He not only wasn't causing the problem, he had fell asleep. He was no danger to anyone. And I think that you're absolutely right. We do not need to call police. Clearly, when we're dealing with a hostile police situation, there are many other alternatives that could have been used other than calling the police. But I think it's a sad day when we find out to call the police could end up fatal.
Right. Do you have any information, Reverend Al, about where things stand? Because I'm gonna talk about it every day. About the 3 Louisville Metro Police officers involved with killing with the murder of Breonna Taylor.
No, we have not gotten an update that there has been the calls for their being charged. We have not heard that they are charged, and we are going to stay on this as well, and I think you should, Ricky. We've called for everybody to continue to protest. We will culminate with a big march in the end of August, but that doesn't mean go to sleep until August 28th. We've got to keep the pressure on. In Louisville, do not forget that they have the special prosecutor there, the Kentucky Attorney General, that's supposed to be looking into the case, is also close to Mitch McConnell. So I don't take anything for granted. You must keep the pressure on. There's no reason the police killed Breonna Taylor, and we cannot in any way turn away from that. The fact that they gave us Breonna law does not mean that the officers that killed her have faced the law.
Right. Now what, I'm switching gears a little bit. What can you tell us about the case in California surrounding the death of 24-year-old Robert Fuller, who was found hanging from a tree in a park near Palmdale City Hall? The police say suicide, and protesters are saying lynching.
They're saying lynching, and it is reminding them of a case not long ago that a young man was found hanging from a tree not far from the same location. And what I'm talking, the people I'm talking to on the ground there, some of the activists involved and some with National Action Network, our group, are saying that they fear a pattern of somebody lynching black people. You've had 2 within the same proximity of space, which sounds suspect, and the way it was done and how it was done very similar. So we'll definitely be looking into that. I don't know why, if you're going to commit suicide, would you go to City Hall to do it, and do it in a way that someone else just a few weeks ago, not far from there, was also found on a tree.
What was the name of the writer? And they said that she hung herself too, but everybody don't, God, I'll think of it. The young lady, Kim, we was talking about it on the phone. Okay, well, I'll get that information. I'll get the information. Don't worry about it. It's just so much going on. You don't even know where to start and what to ask. With stuff with Louisville, stuff with Atlanta, stuff with, you still got that case going on down in Brunswick, Georgia. Reverend
And you still have George Floyd. Don't forget this, Ricky.
Right.
They charged the police, but you still have to go to trial. You don't know if the defense is going to try to stall the trial, if they're going to ask for a change of venue, if they're going to try all kind of games as they did with George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin.
Right.
So we're far from over. That is why we've got to stay organized and stay alert.
And Reverend Al, the president of the United States ain't saying nothing. What he said, what I heard on MSNBC this morning, he said those are not my voters.
He has said nothing. He spoke at West Point, never really addressed the question of justice. He's supposed to be coming out with some kind of executive order today or tomorrow talking about a database on this stuff. We don't need a database. We need justice. To be able to file and count how many times that you see police abuse is not to stop abuse. I don't need a record of how many times you hurt me or killed me. I need you to stop hurting and killing me. And that's what the president has not uttered one word about. He said he sympathizes with George Floyd's family. They don't need sympathy. They need justice.
Right. Reverend Al, thank you so much. Let everybody know, give everybody your website, let everybody know how you can be reached.
www.nationalactionnetwork.net www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Get all the updates every day of what's going on around the country, as well as where we project to keep the movement alive.
All right. Hey, thank you, Reverend Al. We love you. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Reverend Al Sharpton. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, 10 minutes before the top of the hour, y'all. John Lyon on the 1 to 2 chicken and waffle mix going down. What up, John?
I'm good, man. Yo, just kicking off the week inside the mix, man, of course. Yo, make sure you hit me up on the Instagram at JAH Lion Zone.
JAH Lion. Hey, appreciate that mix, man.
Yeah, my pleasure, my Ricky.
I appreciate that, bro. Black Tony, what's up? What's up, man? Where you at, man?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, look.
Yeah.
Your burn man moves, Charlie. Hey, you like fruit?
Yeah.
Y'all like fruit on the money? Everybody in there like fruit?
Man, we love fruit.
Yes, sir.
It get old white lady who be acting like one of them damn Karen folk.
Yeah, talking about Karen, like Karen on
yard.
Yeah.
Sorry, we done took all the damn plums off her trees. She on the porch. She done put her wheelchair highly. Get off my tree, y'all. Man, we took all them damn plums. We got about 600 plums.
Y'all robbed that lady plum tree, man.
So we snacked every plum out of that damn tree.
Man, why you do that, Black Tony?
Because she got a Trump flag on her yard and a Confederate flag. And we said, you know what, Tom? I said, I bet you won't handle plum this long. So we got all them damn plum. We got bad plums, Charlie.
Black Tony.
Your kid like plum.
Black Tony, she got a Trump flag in her yard and y'all robbed a plum tree.
So we snacked every plum out of that damn tree, Charlie. Even if your kid like plum, we'll bring some over there to your crib.
You so petty.
You got some green plum?
We'll put some plums in the back of his truck.
Hey, how long it took y'all to hit that tree, Black Tony?
It took about a good half. I was shooting something. I shoot my car, police. My Pancake went over there, slapped herself on her hand, started shooting with her, still pick it up.
And she was on the porch. Is she in a wheelchair?
Yeah, but she about 100. She got a Trump flag up there talking about black eye don't matter. We said, but he get damn plum don't matter neither.
When we get over here, get somewhere and sit down. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't think about me because I'm grown. I'm going to be with the grown folks. You go be with the kids. Understand this. When I say it's time to go, it's time to go. Don't ask him to stay the night. You cannot. Don't ask him to come back over here and stay the night. They cannot. Don't get over here acting like you hungry, like you ain't ate all day. If you do, I'm going to knock fire out of your throat. Don't touch nothing. Don't break nothing. Don't ask for nothing to drink. Don't ask for nothing to eat. Lisa ain't already think her kids is better than everybody else, and they are not. If one of them touch you, you better knock their head off their shoulder. Don't come in there tattling to me about what you think, what you want, and how you feel. When we get ready to go, I tell you how you feel. Is everybody on the same page? Don't play with me. Is y'all ready to go? Don't. Okay, let's go.
But when I tell you, I'm so proud to be black. I'm so proud to be black.
Yes.
I'm so proud to be black. I had that in my life. If you ain't had that in my life, you are nothing.
Yep, you wasn't raised right. You ain't had that.
She said, don't think about me.
That right there, that part, don't think about me.
Think about me. I will be with the grown folks. Lisa think her kids are better than everybody, and they are not.
They are not. I swear, y'all, every morning at the same time, every morning till I get tired of it. I'm not tired of it yet. I will never get tired of this. Gary got the tea and the Kahlua of the day coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, this is me about Protect My Car. That's right. These days, man, you got to do whatever you got to do to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when the unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. So if you own a car, truck, SUV made from 1999 or higher, you can stop paying for car repairs. That's right. You may not have to pay a penny to have it repaired. Just dial star car on your mobile phone now to see if you qualify. You must have an automobile made from 1999 or higher, and all repairs for your engine, transmission, and much more can become a thing of the past. Dial star car on your mobile phone today and get your car protected before the next repair bill hits. Plus, free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Just dial star car on your mobile phone now to see if your car qualifies. That's star car. Never pay for car repairs again. Just dial star car on your mobile phone now. Restrictions may apply. Plans and costs for coverage may vary. Car Protect My Car for details.
Hold it. Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes after the hour. This thing was being brought to you by Walgreens. Now, we all know that summer may look different this year, and Walgreens is making it easier for you to find great deals with their new ways to shop this summer. Shop online, in-store, or get select essentials delivered with Postmates. See Walgreens.com for details. Walgreens. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful, beautiful Juneteenth day. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Meek Mill is the hero, y'all. Everybody's raving and talking about Meek Mill. Now, they're saying, y'all, that Meek Mill defends, honey, B. Simone amid y'all her plagiarism allegations. Now, they're saying that rapper Meek Mill hopped on social media over the weekend to defend B. Simone's following allegations, y'all, from a beautiful white influencer that said that she stole excerpts from her book, Ricky, word for word. Now, they're saying that B. Simone, she canceled because she finessed the book and made her way from the bottom, LOL, what major companies, y'all, counsel for ripping off our culture. Now, they're saying finding ways to display hate toward our own when they start doing good is showing amongst us a lot. Now, Meek tweeted, y'all, in her defense. He said, quote, a fan responded to Meek's tweet saying that she finessed her own people. And Meek then responded, give me your point. Why a girl from where we come from should be canceled because she finessed a little bit. I really want to know how people really think. Now, even Bradshaw and Ricky, y'all smart people. And Ricky, you got a book out. Yeah. Can you just take people's book words for word and say it's yours?
No, you can't. You just have to.
Isn't a lot of that on the editors of the book as well? Aren't they supposed to proofread and find out all that?
If you pay an editor enough money, a good editor, yeah.
Yeah, well, publishing's house, that's part of their responsibility, right? So just like anything, you have due diligence. So if there are things that are said in the book that are supposed to be factual or actual, you are supposed to research it and make sure that it's actual empirical data and it's not plagiarized. But Meek Mill is talking about this whole cancel culture. How are we going to cancel this whole girl over a book? B. Simone is an amazing comic. She actually tours with Rick sometimes. She's amazing. Don't cancel this girl.
I feel like had she known this was gonna happen or could happen, she would have prevented it. It's some things, just like when you're in the record industry, we don't understand all the insides of the contracts. You have to get a lawyer to look at it. So I'm sure this was overlooked by accident by her. Nobody would want to go through this. They want their book to do well, not have some drama behind it.
Yeah, and she is a absolute wonderful mentee. And I love working with her. She's a great comedian on stage and a great person off stage. And my kids love her, and her attentions is pure. So I stand with B. Simone. We all make mistakes, and sometimes you just don't have good people around you. You know what I'm saying? You get into all of those little details. She's just trying to put a book out and work and make it happen.
Right.
So I'm sure she didn't intend that. So I stand with B. Simone.
Oh, yes, we definitely. So she sue somebody then? Because, I mean, that's not giving her a good look right now.
I'm sure she's going to get to the bottom of whatever it is.
All of this stuff will go away like a fart in the wind.
Gary farts linger, though, Rick. It depends on who farting.
In the wind? Not in the wind.
Gary's be sitting in the wind.
No, because I do not have flatulence. I don't know.
Come on,
but anyway, moving on, China. The celebrity news, y'all. Draymond Green, baby, he did something. Steph Curry's beautiful wife, y'all. Now, Roxy, why would that boy do that? Aren't they teammates or whatever?
Draymond.
You talking about Draymond Green?
What happened?
Yeah, he did some.
Teammates?
Well, why would he diss Steph Curry's wife like that? Everybody loves Steph Curry's wife.
What did he say?
He said this, honey. Let me tell y'all. He tweeted. Now, he said, quote, unquote, y'all. Oh, the doggone thing. They're saying, y'all, that, hold on, I can't. I'm using my
Wi-Fi went out. Your Wi-Fi went out.
Must be a lie.
Why you don't have a printer? Your printer not working?
My printer not working.
I've been told you to move out of that apartment complex. Y'all know you stay at the Darlington right across from you. Okay. You know, Gary stayed at Darlington where they used to put the uptown comedians at.
Anyway, he tweeted, y'all. He called in question, y'all, Miss Aisha Curry. He said she's a hypocrite, honey, for judging IG model, honey, for sharing bikini pics. He said, but then, honey, she proudly sharing her own damn bikini pics, honey, shedding the weight from her last pregnancy. When I talked about that just last week, when this girl lost all this weight, honey, and I don't think that was weight loss. This girl probably had some kind
good. Don't do that.
But she shouldn't be talking about other people.
And he don't need. Why he worried about what she doing?
Okay.
Well, because, honey, he probably got an IG model as a girlfriend, and you don't do that to people.
Well, then she need to talk. He don't need to talk against her. Come on now.
Well, when a man loves a woman, there's nothing you can do about it.
And when a man is a man, he'll talk to the other man.
Oh, wow.
And not the woman.
I guess
The doors of the church are now open.
Yeah. All right, the Kahlua today, baby. We're going to the Kahlua. The Kahlua today is sangria, honey. On the high end, you say sangria, and on the low, just say beautiful purplish red. That's your Kahlua for today.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the tea. Okay, listen, y'all. I got a special guest this morning. She was trending. That video she had on Facebook and Instagram blew up. The author and activist Kimberly Jones. She's going to be joining us up next. You've probably seen her viral video. How can we win? So we're going to be talking about that. Talking to her up next, y'all. Kimberly Jones, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Having dry skin is a struggle. Turns out my body wash was the problem until I tried new Olay skincare inspired body wash made with ingredients like vitamin C, collagen, and hyaluronic acid. My skin went from dry and dull to visibly healthy in just 14 days. Better skin from my body wash? You better believe it with Olay Body. And now try with new Olay Rinse Off Body Conditioner to help stop dry skin before it starts. Find new Olay body care products online or at your local retailer.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have. That if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the f*** do I give up? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and then give up. You broke the contract when for 400 years we played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract when we built our wealth again on our own by our bootstraps in Tulsa, and you dropped bombs on us. You broke the contract, so f*** your target. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this to the ground, and it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
Hey, you probably seen that viral video. How can we win? We're going to be talking coming up next, man. Kimberly Jones. You do not want to miss this. Up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, what up? This is your boy Rickey Smiley, man, and we are excited to announce that America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses stores have reopened and already ready to serve you. Hey, the health and safety of patients and staff remains a top priority. Steps have been taken to ensure enhanced sanitation measures are being implemented wherever possible to provide a patient and retail experience that provides for your safety without compromising your quality of care. And we are reopening with fewer appointments and shorter hours. So please visit americasbest.com for the most up-to-date store information. So to book an appointment, call 1-800-2PAIR. That's 1-800-TWOPAIR to be connected to the store nearest you. Already have a valid prescription? Shop online for new glasses or stock up on contact lenses from the convenience of your home. And make sure you visit americasbest.com to shop today. Don't overpay for your eyeglasses. You can get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for only $69.95, including a free eye exam. In certain states, eye exams provided by independent doctors of optometry or ophthalmology. Tell Rickey Smiley sent you.
How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the f*** do I give up? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and didn't give up. You broke the contract when for 400 years we played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract when we built our wealth again on our own by our bootstraps in Tulsa and you dropped bombs on us. You broke the contract, so f*** your target. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this to the ground and it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
Man, I swear you see from the heart exactly how I feel. And you saying what a lot of people feel. Thank you so much for coming on this morning, especially given the emotional weekend that we have had. And one thing you speak about in your message is the social contract of justice. Whatever. Y'all give it up for Kimberly Jones. Welcome. Good morning, Kim.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me.
No, man. I watch your videos 100 times. Where are you based out of?
So I live in Atlanta, but I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh wow! Hey, so shout out.
I'm a Skyliner like brat.
Right. Happy to have you this morning. That was so powerful, and thank you for coming on. So you talking about social contract of justice? How do we mend that contract?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to do is we have to do collective education in our communities that's exterior to the education that they're getting in schools. You know, we talk a lot about voting, and I definitely believe that we should vote, but we have to push the envelope a little bit further than that. We have to form pacts and lobby, because that's the only way that we're going to get these laws changed. We have to take a little bit of spirit of the ancestor Rudy Lozano, and we have to be proactive about who are getting in those seats. So just voting for the lesser of two evils doesn't assist us, but he would go into communities and look at the person in the community who cared about the community and put his group behind them and get that person elected, so that you knew that they were going in with the idea of taking care of the community. So we have to do a lot less passive work at this point, and we really got to get proactive and understand that there's going to be, huge change and not incremental change in our community. Is going to be, via our hands.
And Kimberly, what do you think our demands should be?
Well, first of all, I think that we need to readjust how officers are processed in this situation. We should definitely get rid of all those laws that allow them to say that they were working within the realm of their job and doing these in committing these murders, because that's what they are. And I think that the other thing that we need to ask for is, first of all, they owe us a whole lot of money. And if anybody listened to the video and heard my my theory on monopoly about how we've built the wealth in this community, and then they want to talk to us like we're asking for a handout when we're asking for, you know, fair taxes and for there to be changes in the way in which people are allowed to, you know, come in our communities and build stores and then price gouge and all of that stuff. All of that stuff needs to be adjusted. We need to put together a comprehensive plan on rectifying all of the atrocities that this country has done to African American people.
Yeah, I mean, and you have been out at all of the marches, all of the rallies. What are your observations on the impact they have made, and how, you know, and how they are going?
I definitely think that because these marches have been worldwide, that there's been a global view, which it doesn't, you know, surprise me at all that this is on the back of a pandemic where people had to sit and process and grapple with the issues as opposed to being able to swipe by it like they have before. So I think that the world is listening, and I think the stage is set for us to finally, like, make some demands. But the next step now is to start organizing and planning and coming up with good plans. I'll tell you one thing I observed that kind of struck me is I've been out there, and predominantly what I've seen is young people, which is, you know, completely inspiring to me to know that the next generation is trying to be engaged. But what did bother me as a Gen Xer is that there's not enough of us out there. So we're wondering why these things are bubbling to a point where there is violence, where there is rioting, where there is looting. Well, guess what? Auntie and uncle sitting at home watching it on TV, because I was literally at a march a couple weeks ago, and the little boy picked up a brick and he looked over me and he dropped it. Because you're not going to throw a brick in front of Auntie. You don't want her to see you do that, even if she's your auntie theoretically. And so the older generation, we have to get engaged. We have to be out there. We have to be having these conversations. We have to be organizing and structuring these marches in a way that they're productive. We've left our youth to figure it out on their own, and that's not fair.
Right. Kimberly, so now this is what I believe. I believe that the President of the United States kind of fan all of this racial hatred towards black people by dog whistling the police, telling the police not to be so nice, and at the Trump rallies, when you see anybody that protests Trump get attacked, and now all of a sudden you got all of this entitlement, these all of these Karen videos and stuff, and me personally, I feel hated, you know, these past few years when I go into the grocery store or whatever, I feel uncomfortable and hated. How do you feel about the atmosphere, and do you think there's a lot of stuff that's coming from the top that's making people comfortable in their racism?
Oh yeah, he has set an environment where people feel super comfortable expressing, let's be honest, feelings that they've had all along, but they just haven't felt comfortable expressing them. But you know, we all mimic the parent, right? So if you're allegedly the leader of this nation and you are expressing this kind of behavior and sentiment, then people feel free to finally come out and be like, okay, we got our guy that makes us feel comfortable behaving in this way. We already mistrain the police. We already, when we scout for police, we do it incorrectly, because we don't show videos, recruitment videos of the friendly neighborhood cop that's making sure that the community is safe. They show tactical military style videos. And if you want to be this guy, the guy that's out on the street shooting the people and robbing the bad guy, then come join us. And then we've switched from community policing in the training to a more militarized training. Even if you look at the uniform has changed to a more tactical uniform. So there's already some adjustment that needs to be made in the way you can get a barber's license. And it takes you more time to get a barber's license than it does to become a police officer. That's the level of training that we're offering them. And we're also asking them to deal with situations that they shouldn't be dealing with. They shouldn't be dealing with neighborhood disputes, business disputes, people with mental health concerns. So we need elementary schools. You have schools that have a police officer on staff and don't have a nurse or a counselor, and that's ridiculous. And so with that being said, they're already mistrained. And when you take someone who's already mistrained and who's come in and they want to be a ruffian, and then you got the guy at the top making jokes, talking about you guys are putting their heads in the car, don't worry about that, then that rogue nature escalates. Wow. And you got to own that.
Wow. So you got a book out called "I'm Not Dying with You Tonight." So everybody need to get that book. And how can they order the book?
It's available everywhere books are sold. If they want to go to my website, they can get it directly there at KimJonesWrites.com. But, everybody sells at Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all of them.
I'm going to order it. Kim, y'all make sure y'all support. Hey, Kimberly, please don't be a stranger. Come on this show anytime, any message you have to get out. I absolutely love and respect you. I cannot wait to meet you. We were so excited when we saw your clip. Like your clip brought everybody to tears. And it just came. And thank you for expressing your knowledge and your passion and everything that you're doing in the community, trying to help us move forward. We really appreciate you coming on this morning.
I really appreciate y'all. And can I just say really quick, I just want to give a special shout out to Eva because she was one of the first people to post it. So I appreciate you, sis.
Oh, my pleasure, sis. It's one of those things where you spit knowledge, you gave us education and information, and at the end of the day, we all deserve to know the information that you spit so freely. So thank you for your courage.
Thank you, guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up. Show your love. The one and only Kimberly Jones. Make sure y'all go and get her book. Go get the book. I'm Not Dying with You Tonight. Make sure y'all download that. Go get the book, y'all. Kimberly Jones. One more time. Kimberly Jones. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
To all the hard-working women and everyday super moms, we got a little something for you. It's Eva's Corner on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Ricky, you so petty.
All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, man, be quiet, bro. It's time to Special K.
Eva's Corner.
It's time for Eva's Corner with Special K over there on the floor laughing. I didn't know. I said something that was politically incorrect, and I should not have said it. And I apologize if I offended anybody during the song. But I can't say it if I say it on the air, we will all lose our jobs. So don't say it.
Yes, and I like my job.
It would be a mix. It would be y'all lying all morning. It won't be nothing. So let me be quiet. Y'all just act like y'all didn't hear that. Don't call human resources. So.
That was Black Tony.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got something good for us today in Eva's Corner, Ricky. You know, what I think America right now, I think we're at a place where we're not just going to stand by and watch senseless things happen, talk about it one day, and just forget about it, right? So this stuff is not going away. However, I do want to be inspiring, and I do want to be resolutionary in the things that we talk about and that we deal with. So with Eva's Corner today, I want to talk about the fact that we are all at home. It initially started with this pandemic. Since the end of February, beginning of March, everybody has been at home. You're there with your spouses and your loved ones, and we are getting on each other's nerves. On top of that, now we are very irritated, frustrated, and disturbed by all of the videos and things that we are seeing. So I feel like anxiety is like at an all-time high at home. You know, we are fighting over little stuff, especially if you got kids. You know, you fighting over who didn't put up the milk and who didn't do this and who didn't do that. So it made me kind of sit back and reflect. And I remember one of the most profound things I was told when I was about to get married was that this whole Teddy Pendergrass idea of 50-50 love is a song. It is not the truth. Right. The reality is that no one is going to have it all every single day. Some days, all you're going to have is 10%. And that spouse will need to come up with that other 90%. Sometimes you're going to have nothing. I remember in the beginning of the quarantine, my husband looked a little sick. I put him in a room for a week. And so I had to come up with everything. Or my parents, for instance, you know, my father had a stroke 10 years ago. Last week was his anniversary of his stroke. And my dad was one of those men that everybody calls boss, which is why I say the word all the time now, because it means a strong person. And my dad is now like a baby. We have to take care of him. And I'm sure when my mother looks at the relationship, it's no longer, or it's not 50-50. But I'm just trying to implore you and remind you there is no such thing as a 50-50 love. It is all you have today. It is all they have today. Pull out a little bit more and do what you got to do to get through the day. We are all going through it. It is not easy, and your best effort is all you need. So don't look for him to have 50% today. If he don't have it, ladies, let him live. He might not have it in him today. Pull up and do a little bit more. Same thing, fellas. If you see that she just, you know, having a hard time with life, do a little bit more. Try to put that baby's hair in a ponytail. It might look crazy, but it's okay.
Do the
You
little
gotta
Mickey Mouse
support
with the
each
part
other.
going down.
Exactly.
Get that pink oil moisturizer and brush that hair.
Because think about it, Rock T, how long have you and Crystal been married? Is y'all love 50-50?
No, we talk about this all the time, man. You gotta be 100-100. You gotta give each other all of you, because anything less than that is not gonna work. I don't care if it's 70-30, 90-10. You gotta you broke it down perfect, even by saying, because some days I may not have it, and I'm gonna expect Crystal to step up and get 100%.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So you gotta give each other 100.
But didn't the vow say in sickness and in health till death do us part?
It sure did.
So
It absolutely did.
Okay.
Which is why.
But how can she step up if she don't have any legs?
Well,
Tina!
Gary!
Man!
Talk to me, Gary!
Baby Miss Regina Bell said, baby, come to me. But this is the part, Ricky, that I just really loved. And it was when the girls couldn't find the words to say, they just said anything. Now, she said, know a secret how to make you want me, how to make you love me. Then she said, woo. Then she said, sure as there's a moon above, honey, it's a friend of mine. It still makes me, honey, burn. Then she said, woo-woo. She said, something tells me that fire's gonna right up your spine. Whoa, woo-woo. She said, something tells me, honey, you will be all mine. She said, baby, come to me.
Brett, did she sing that? Did she sing that, Brett?
I thought she said, show make you learn. You taught me something, Gary.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought she said the moon above is a friend of mine. Show make you learn. So it's show make you burn.
Yes, baby. She said she'll make you burn.
So what she said about the color of the silver moon, Brett?
She said, silver moon shining on my bed, beside my pillow.
Yes, she did.
Come on, Brett. Like a pathway to bring that rain to me.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
something tell me you gotta get me now.
Yes, baby. Miss Bell said that, baby. She said that, honey. She said that
she
silver
did.
moon, honey, was on her bed, right there beside her pillow, Brad. Right where she was sleeping in. Right, the pathway, honey, to bring that man right there to her. Yes.
Special K, what it remind you of?
Boy, it remind me of one time I was on a Spirit airline flight going to Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale. And, you know, I had this playing in my headphones, and I was just looking around at all them fine, young, struggling black women that was on that flight. Because, you know, Spirit is the Greyhound of the skies. And it was just, I could just imagine them with all their little Nissan Altimas and Dodge Neons and Honda Civics all parked at MARTA Station in Atlanta waiting for them to get back after a weekend of just fighting about and just looking at them. Oh, God, it just...
Gary!
Yes!
Brett! Brett, hit that first part one more time. What she said?
Yes, Brett.
She said what?
What she say? Hit the first verse. What she say, Brett?
Silver moon shining on my bed, beside my pillow, like a pathway to bring that man. Oh, something different.
Yes, he told her.
You gotta go without. You turn me on, baby, come to me.
Yes, and she said,
Wanking over you.
Oh,
yes,
man.
baby.
Oh, man, y'all got me crying, man.
Miss Bell said that, baby.
She did say it,
Oh,
man.
she said that, honey. It was a silver moon out there.
Be quiet, please. Just be quiet. Hey, we want to send a big thank you out to AARP for helping us celebrate Black Music Month, and thank y'all for all you do in our communities. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It was shining on her queen side bed, baby.
Hey!
Right by her pillow. Right by her pillow.
Right. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Hey, it's Black Music Month, so get up and get down with the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, listen, y'all, when I play my Black Music Month Song of the Week, sponsored by AARP, where they're keeping it 100 and keeping it real with the song that connects you to the times in your life you will never forget. And don't forget to enter the Black Music Month $100 giveaway. So get over to the RickeySmileyMorningShow.com/AARP for your chance to get in it and win it. Got Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 24 minutes after the hour, y'all. I got your front page right here. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eva Marcel here with your top news stories. Atlanta police were called to deal with a black man sleeping in his car in a drive-through lane at a Wendy's. Now, that incident ended in the death of 27-year-old Rashard Brooks, who was shot in the back by a police officer after he grabbed the police taser and ran away. Protesters flooded the streets and burned down that Wendy's. Within 48 hours of the incident, the officer who shot Brooks was fired, and Atlanta's police chief, who is white, stepped down, saying the city needs to build trust between law enforcement and the community that it serves. Also, California's Attorney General is being asked to investigate the death of Robert Fuller, who was a 24-year-old black man who was found hanging from a tree across from City Hall in Palmdale, California. It came 10 days after another black man was found hanging from a tree about 50 miles away in a city called Victorville. Meanwhile, sheriff in Virginia has apologized to a black pastor who was mistakenly arrested after he called the police for help with 5 white family members who attacked him on his own front yard. The pastor pulled out his gun for protection, but found himself being arrested instead for brandishing a weapon. Now, in other news, coronavirus hospitalizations are up in over 20 states, you guys. Please practice social distancing and continue to sanitize and wash your hands. Also, tensions are very high between the U.S. and China after Trump sent 3 Navy aircraft carriers to sit in the Pacific Ocean in a show of force, he says. And lastly, if you need a new car, Hertz Rental Car Company has filed for bankruptcy, everyone. So over 700,000 used cars are now for sale with very, very big discounts. All right? That was a quick look at your headline news. Rock T, I hear there is a lot going on in sports, my brother. What is up?
You already know. Let's start off with the NFL that's donating $250 million to help fight social injustice. Many of the African-American players are stepping up, speaking up, saying, listen, they should have a say-so in where those funds end up. And I agree 100%. So let's hope that Commissioner Roger Goodell allows that to happen. Cleveland Browns superstar Myles Garrett is helping raise money for the recovery of a 24-year-old man, John Sanders, who lost his eye during the Black Lives Matter protest in downtown Cleveland. And he was shot in the eye with a lead pellet-filled beanbag. And I just discovered, man, rubber bullets, tear gas, beanbag rounds are called non-lethal weapons by law enforcement officials. And 15% of people injured by rubber bullets or similar objects were left permanent disabled or possibly dead or even brain dead. So they got to do something about these, man. I mean, you know, these officers nowadays, they're using this as, and they're aiming at the head now. They're not even trying to hit him in the body. They going straight to the head and causing a lot of this damage, man. So this is crazy. Crazy. Continue to follow this situation.
Can you pick bullets or rubber bullets?
Rubber bullets. These are rubber bullets. These are designed to kind of... Can you pick what?
Do you want a rubber bullet or you want to get shot by a regular bullet?
I want no bullet. I don't want to get shot for protesting. You shouldn't be shot at all.
Right. Especially if I don't have a weapon.
Right.
Which is what this is all about. So there it is. The Bring It a Tat. Got the hot spot right now. Let's go.
All right, y'all, bottom of the hour. Rickey Smiley Morning Show right here. You didn't know that we was going to play a song before we did the hot spot?
Sure didn't. Shoot.
So you threw it to Brett.
I threw it straight to Brett, Jack.
Brett, what
you gotta listen out for this music right here that it's too hot. Hey.
17, we fell in love. High school sweetheart. Love is so brand new.
So that's when you know it said you can catch me at the hot spot. It's the B-R-A-T. That means it's my turn, Rock.
Boy, that's Radio 101. Go on, Brad. Don't clown him, Brad. Go ahead.
No, I'm not at all. Let's get off into this hot spot, y'all. This is where we bring you music, movies, and more. All right, y'all. Finally. finally, y'all, we got a bachelor, okay? In Bachelor Nation, Matt James will be the first black ever bachelor. I know some of y'all men don't care to don't watch TV, but this is crazy. The 28-year-old was named lead after the campaign was launched by the franchise's first ever black lead in 2017, a woman for the Bachelorette, and that's Rachel Lindsay. So the producers are now saying, we know we have a responsibility to make sure the love stories we're seeing on screen are representative of the world we live in, and we are proudly in service our audience. This is just the beginning, and we will continue to take action with regard to diversity issues on this franchise.
Do we care?
We feel so privileged to have Matt as our first black bachelor, and we cannot wait to embark on this journey with him. Yeah, we care, because a lot of people you might not care, but a lot of people that watch this, a petition was put out. You know
I know that.
To get more diversity in some
white
of these
woman
shows.
Anyway, so it don't matter.
I mean, that don't matter, but they wasn't making black people the lead. It was
go on TV1 and get with a show then. Get your show on TV1 and BET.
They probably do that too.
Gary, so you say he gonna pick a white woman?
Of course he gonna pick a white woman. Please, they ain't gonna let no black bachelor pick no black woman.
It don't matter.
One at a time. Hold on, wait a minute. Say what, Gary?
They not gonna let him pick no black woman. Please, hell, that's why they put him on there. Black people been screaming, hollering, kicking to get a black bachelor. Now you get him on there. Of course, they're gonna have 2 black women and 3 white women. He gonna pick one of them, and there goes gonna be the bachelor and the bachelorette. Trust me. Yeah, I get sick of that.
They still have
now, even what you were saying?
A black man.
What I was saying was, with the Bachelor being black, Ricky, they're going to bring more black bachelorettes there to court him, so you'll see more representation of black people, period.
But she ain't gonna get
just like when they brought Rachel, when they brought Rachel 2 years ago, they brought more black guys on the show to court her than they had ever had before, so the same thing is going to happen here.
Who she picked?
We ain't talking about that. We talking about
we talking about that. That's just who she picked.
So they had a black lady on there. She didn't pick the black lady.
No.
But they brought more black men on the show.
It's just the way you placate you.
So Gary, why she didn't pick the black man?
Because they wouldn't allow that number one, honey, for the pick him, and then he probably didn't like her because she wasn't light skinned enough. That's how that was.
Oh my God.
Lord.
And so why he not gonna pick the black girl? Why he not gonna pick?
Because that ain't gonna work, honey. Because they gonna make sure they pick a black girl that's a little bit too intelligent, honey, and he ain't gonna want her because she's too intelligent. Then they gonna put Karen on there, honey, and do all kinds of stuff, honey, before you know. They gonna be together. It's already calculated.
Karen.
Why she gotta be Karen, Gary?
Because she Karen.
and so he ain't gonna pick the black girl because she's too intelligent.
Yeah, she ain't gonna pick her baby, please, honey. Because she ain't gonna want him because he's gonna be too damn corny and square.
Oh,
Gary,
what's corny and square, Gary?
He gonna be, honey, I swear to God, honey, he was from Beverly Hills. He came right there from Compton. That's what.
Even from Compton.
He was from South Central, but ain't nothing wrong with Compton. Listen, our first princess is from the Compton, okay?
And who she married?
Gary. Well, now he got his Compton stripes, and we now have a black royal person in the family. Thank you.
Hello.
I ain't mad at that, though, but I'm just telling you, that's how it's going to be. It never fails.
All right, y'all, we're going to have to get out of here now. Coming up next, y'all, we got Chef. That's going to wrap up the hot spot. Thank you, Gary, for finishing that out for me. We're coming up with Chef Q, y'all, with them quarantine cuisines. And we got the praise mixed down with the White Stone. Up next, it's 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We got the one and only. We are quarantine cooking. We got the one and only. Hey, we got to show some love to the ladies out there. Chef Quinn Price, better known as Chef Q. What up? Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
One of the best cooking coaches in the country. If you need a cooking class, she'll show you how to get it done. Hey, what you cooking for us today?
I had a little brunch skillet, something that you can have for brunch or dinner, something really easy, keto friendly, since that's the new thing, the new diet that everybody's on these days.
There it is. Eva, you heard that?
I heard it. I'm ready. I got my pen ready, Chef Q. What are we making?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really simple. It has fresh ingredients. We got tomatoes, we have squash, we have mushrooms, and you kind of saute all that up in a pan. You put it in the oven with your broiler. You crack 2 eggs on top of it. Put a little fresh Parmesan cheese. I added a little avocado. It's really, really flavorful.
Wow. And you can do this for breakfast and lunch.
You can do it, so it's more like a brunch or a dinner. For me, I would have it for any time of the day, honestly.
Right. And you can serve that up with a mimoso. Is that what you call it, bro?
Mimoso.
Mimosa.
What did I say?
Mamuso.
I said mimosa.
You made it French.
Mamusa de Musimo. Conquistador Marusino.
That's a mimosa.
Have you a little breakfast cocktail.
Mamusimo, darling.
Yeah, you want a breakfast libation.
Well, y'all messy as hell. Be quiet, Gary.
No, you don't drink nothing.
Gary,
Tell he don't drink.
Baby, I that was no damn mimosa. Go to her, girl. I want a mimosa.
Oh, for Musso, that
Oregano on a mimosa.
I tell you what. I bet I can cook better than all y'all. Chef Q, let everybody.
You can't make no mimosa. Chef Q, I apologize, by the way, my cast members tag, they can be really ignorant.
You need to apologize for that mimosa.
Apologize to the driver. I'm sorry, Chef Q.
Apologize to the dictionary.
It's quite all right.
Let's go to the restaurant with his baby girl. I want to get me and her mimosa.
Let's go order a mimosa, Gary, see what come out.
Chef Q, let everybody know how they can find the video of you making this wonderful dish.
All right, y'all. Just tune into Rickey Smiley's official Facebook page, and you can see the full recipe, all the ingredients, and just enjoy. It's really, really good.
And how can we follow you on Instagram?
You can follow my Instagram at Lil Chef's Vittles. That's spelled LILCHEFSBITTLES.
Chef Q, do you put mimosas on your menu?
Man, y'all be. Well, y'all so dirty. Chef Q, thank you. I apologize for the way they act.
So dirty.
Make sure you go get your mimosa, girl, after this.
Have a nice day, y'all. Quarantine cooking.
Strong, honey.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Strong mimosa.